Yo, 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 it's DaBLackKing Goku, and I'm trying this out on my phone here, the one I can use for phone service. So, anyway, the reason I wanted to tell you, record this, was, well, for one thing, I'm just gonna show it as is. I'm not gonna sit here and, I'm not gonna play it or nothing because of copyright issues and stuff. But,
I'll teach you to say hello.
see, this right here, didn't mean to hear that sound. It's funny. I mean, this thing is supposed to be funny. It's not funny except for 3. I thought it was 3. It was actually 4. This is one of them where he talks about what it is it's a mistranslation about, will marry your daughter. I thought that was kind of funny because it was like, oh man, you gotta be kidding, right? So we're gonna skip forward here. Yeah, and then this one here is funny only because, well, you don't see it right away. But what it is that one guy comes up, shows his shoe, and what it's about, and this is not the funny part, but anyway, it's about super gluing the shoe. Well, because the guy on the opposite side, his shoe has fallen apart. Well, their version of super glue is different from ours. So he glues it for him real fast and has him do it. It's funny because, well, the shoe had fallen apart. So, yeah. And then there's, I believe oh yeah. And then there's the rooster because, well, the announcer says something about Mentos and something about bigger and better, and that wasn't funny to me at all. It was because the rooster told the guy to shut up. Literally. I'm not going to play it because, you know. But anyway. Yeah, I'm not trying to copyright anything here. I'm trying to... And here's here... Alright, so... Hang on.
Okay, you want...
So this one here is where he tricks the maid into give him... putting her hand down his pants to find his phone, which obviously is not anywhere there, and then she tries to reach in his pocket and it's not there. Well, it's actually on where she reaches for is the side pocket. So basically what it ends up happening is, right, he tricks her, and there's two funny parts to this. I didn't find as hilarious as the first part, but it was still kind of funny. Where he tricks the woman, which is funny. I know it's piggish and whatever the heck you want to call it, but it's still kind of funny if you think about it. But anyway, what the phone is not where she thinks it's at. It's actually in his back pocket. And what he does is he winds up unwrapping his arm and doing it. And then at the end, the part that's not as funny is where a male doctor comes in and they're like, oh, because he thought he was going to be able to trick the same nurse or trick another one in there with his buddy. So yeah, so that's the fourth one here. This is not least bit funny at all. None of this is coming up. I mean, a lot of it, I guess if you're in their language, you understand it. I suppose you can understand. You know, this I don't get. A lot of it, I really didn't get. I'm like, okay, what the hell's so funny about that? Yeah, okay, so the guy has a medical problem, and then this is supposed to be funny, which it isn't. You know? And this is a little bit funny. And the fact of, well, because they tell him, basically, you never would have gotten that out of it, because first of all, they don't speak English too well. I mean, most of the commercials are speaking a little bit. So, yeah, but basically, at the end there, yeah, they put like a zipper across their face. It's just nuts. And this one here, it has a little bit of funniness in it, but it's not, I mean, it doesn't get me to go ha 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 to truly be able to feel it. I mean, there's a little bit like that in these commercials. Now, this one here actually is one that was actually more, actually I think it back, it's like there's 5 of them. There was It was, I mean, it wasn't as hilarious as the four ones, but this has just a little bit enough to get me to go ha ha ha. And it was because of what happens is that they moved the couch after about a few seconds. That long bench. I don't know what they call that in their language, but they take it away and the guy falls down. That was kind of funny. So yeah, cause see, I mean that's what happens, and so basically, yeah. If I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have been able to remember all that because I'm tired. And I guess you might say anything to avoid recording the code, right? Well, not exactly. So yeah. So anyway, I actually set this up because I didn't want you to see my pin that I have set up on this account. So yes, you get to see the very first sighting of what my actual base looks like. One thing I could not show up before because, like I said before, it's boring by the time you get to this point. This is my base. This is my very first, my own account that I actually made. And, because of, well, what happened a while back, I had to reinstall the game on another phone just like this one. For some damn reason or another, the phone was screwing up. And it's the same make and model, except, some reason or another. So anyway, I could not get back access. I pushed it so many times, and finally, after about several days, I finally pushed it again, and it finally shows up, and I got to reset in the email to reset my password. So that finally worked out too, pretty good. Because I was pretty sure it was what I had on the account. So this is my base. Yeah, in order to get the chocobos, which is really stupid, you actually have to pay for it or go into events, which if you look at, like I've said before in many videos, you'd have to be very super lucky. I'm not super lucky at all. It's right here is my own account, and these are some of the new additions like that right there. Yeah, again, that's one of those, oh hey, I need to purchase crap. And this vault right here has to do with your gold. With gold actually comes in handy. You want to wait till, I recommend at least about as high as you can get it, to the maximum. Which might take a while because you're only doing it only does about 200 at a time. I don't know what it does at the next level because I haven't upgraded, because I haven't purchased. Which you cannot get in an event. You actually have to purchase the deal. You can obviously do it through the $50 one plus taxes. You always have to add tax. I don't know why I didn't do the update on this. But basically, yeah, this is my base. This is about, what I didn't want to show because of the fact of how boring my base is to me. Because, first of all, when you get up to this point, even though that it takes resources to get up here, and it helps out to get all this up to at least the highest level you can get it to. That's another addition. Which is basically based on what your citadel is. Whatever your citadel is what you're going to want to base all of your buildings. And the more you have, the more better off you are, depending on what the building is. Like, okay, you got this right here, which is a resource bank. 4 of them, I guess, will work in my case. The barracks actually helps out. I don't know why they changed that around. That was stupid, because they used to have the field over there, believe it or not, where you can't add on. This right here, whereas the snow part, where if you can see that down there, if I can zoom in on it, was not where I have my building. So don't ask me why they did that. But basically, in the chocobos, I'm not sure how the griffins worked or anything, but that right there is where you get it at. And in order for it to upgrade, you actually have to have the blueprints, which are done through events or through purchasing, which is a really quick way to do it. I have purchased through credit because I earned enough credit to do it. Actually, I'm not going to tell you how I really got credit. So, but I mean, that you can't upgrade right here. This right here, that clock that's running really fast. You can see it back there. There's no way to upgrade it because they haven't upgraded it. It's grayed out because they haven't come out with any upgrades for it. As a matter of fact, this right here that you see that I'm clicking on right now where it just highlighted, yeah, they didn't used to have upgrades for that when I first started on here. I wasn't here when they first developed the game, but I did play the demo. So, yeah. Alright, I need to deposit gold. I do that because of a reason. Now, I can't do this yet because I have to be a certain level. See, 15 in Citadel. Which I'm not too far. I'm about like 4 levels behind. And this, I believe you have to be at least, 20. We're about like so many levels. I think that's about 8. I'm not really sure. I'm not going to bother to count right now. Whatever you say is correct. I'm not trying to doubt you, and I'm not trying to be correct on my number. I'm just saying, I think it's 6. I don't know. I'm not going to bother to count because that's not why I'm here. But I'm basically showing off my base of operations. Ooh, that's a new place too. This here is called the Magic Check Converter, which I guess is not so bad after all. I mean, because they did consider it bad in the Final Fantasy VI game, which unfortunately was released to the United States of America as Final Fantasy 3, which is not the original 3. The original 3 was released into Japan, and they just got through a few years back. I mean, when it was this was like several years ago when it was first released. They didn't even bother to release it to the United States. They just gave us Final Fantasy VI, which sucked because we could not get the original 3. You could never even play it. It's like, really? And then you think that, you know, you're trying to look for Final Fantasy VI when you actually are playing 6. If you actually have a copy of 3 for like Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo, because there was no 6. No 6 in number. But you were playing it. I don't know why they did it that way. That was the silliest damn thing I could ever see. So, yeah. There's that. And, you know, these things are good for free spins. I always rely on the free spins because I'm not sure how to get more. I don't understand it. I don't want to really use up real live money to get more. So, yeah, and sometimes you will get, like, more, and I don't know why it's telling me that, like, if I use it or something, I don't know what the hell it is. Don't ask. Sometimes you'll find loot now that you don't even know what the hell it is, and it won't show up anywhere. You're like, what is it? Well, I mean, it might be through a certain shop or something. I don't have no clue, so don't ask me. But basically, this is how far I've gotten on this guy. I've actually had to stop in between because, well, I come in once in a while because really it's too boring because you're sitting there waiting on the resources that you actually need, especially, and I mean especially, research. And research is one of the key important things. And you have to be careful of that as well because of how much resources you have. And a lot of times when you get to this point, if you're not playing long enough, your resources are not going to grow to where you need them to be, which sucks. That's why you got to go out and gather. So it's always important to do research. And one of the first things I recommend, which I did not even know when I first started this, I just went with whatever. But I learned as I went along, is always get up instant construction time. Get that up as far as you can get it. And work on your stone protection, your food protection, your metal, at least to whatever you can for the level that you're on, you know. And that does not unlock until you get, I believe it's level 3 in troop load, energy production, and gathering speed. Which, as you can see, everything's up to maximum per level. Meaning, right now that's all I can do. And right now I can't do anything until I get more energy, obviously. So, you know, and Once that's done, I mean, in between, because you can only do one time at a time. If you can purchase it, which I did not eventually have that, which you can obviously do that now, or you can purchase more than one timer to do searching, but you can only do at a time. I believe they were starting to try to do and do building, which is crazy. Well, I still have not unlocked these three yet. I have unlocked these three. Or not three, but it's two, as you can see. Sorry. My bad. And you also want to do defense. Now, hero is not as important, except for most things. And you might be wondering why those are at level 1. Well, because that's the maximum they can get. I don't know why they did it like that, but it's crazy. But yeah, definitely get this up, because it will help you, because against players, if you play this game, I recommend it. I even had that unlocked, and you want that up, and you definitely want enough healing. Which, by the way, this right here it does not. You cannot use up any speeds, and you can't ask for help. You can only use what you have for special items, which is crazy to think that. But in terms of dungeon health, yeah, you have to be careful what you use. Like this right here. Because it has to do with proving ground shards. Wow. And yes, I have to get some sort of proving ground shards to unlock that. But anyway, yeah, you have to make sure you get enough, because otherwise, I mean, it really doesn't make a difference anyway. At least what I can tell anyway. Yeah, you can do this, and I'd wait until you have enough, or whatever you think is good enough, because I mean, all this comes in handy. It don't take no time at all. It's really short. Doesn't, you know? Oh, I can do crafting in here. Okay, that's nice. That's a new feature I didn't know they had here. As a matter of fact, when I first started, it wasn't anything like that. When that wasn't there. Believe it or not. But as far as your hero goes, he also has little deals. You want to save up points. I found that out eventually. I'm like, oh crap. He also has what you would call a timer on him that actually helps out. So yeah, you want to do that too. This right here, because I can't do nothing with it, and I need like I can't do nothing. I can't do that until I've actually gotten my research centered to a certain level, which sucks. But you know, I'm actually can't even do 3 yet. So basically, you know, yeah, the timers are not as important, but they do come in handy. The ones I would shoot for more than anything, getting a bunch of, is the, well, and in fact, I can show you them right now. It's the highest ones, and I don't mean like 3 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes. That don't mean crap. Even 10 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes. You know, shoot for. You know, gotta keep those in mind. Keep those stockpiled. Including the 60s. Don't use them up unless you really, really have to. Even the 90s, 3 hours. You know, all the higher ones, they're at least far beyond 15, 10, and 5. Because, I mean, you know, you gotta watch how many you use of those. I would definitely stockpile them, and you could use them if you want to. A little bit here and there, which is fine, as long as you use them sparingly. I'm just giving you a little tip. You don't have to do this by any means. Where'd my timer go? Oh. Now this right here is for, like, if you want to put a barrier on, which is actually for people who start out. Unfortunately, I don't have anything, and yeah, those are loyalty points. But you can see out there, I don't have enough of. Eventually, I will have enough to do what I want to, but it's going to take a while. But in order to really, they are important, but you know, they'll come in handy. What you want to do is you want to be in a guild, and I have my own guild, and it's really fairly recommend that you have your own, I suppose, or get into someone you actually. It's either between that or getting into someone else you know that you can trust. Obviously, and power is not as important in this game. Believe it or not, you don't need power in this game. In a guild, as they call it, which is basically positions or ranks. You know, they don't mean nothing. Because, I mean, you know, what's important though is, you see this right here where it says guild help. You tap on that, and if someone needs help, because it'll pop up and it'll let you know anyway. It takes a little bit for your own mobile device, like I am right now, for it to load. So anyway, yeah. You click on that, you get your loyalty points. It takes a while, and the maximum, I believe, each day, once it's released, I mean not released, once it's reached, doesn't mean it can't be done over again. It's just, I mean, it adds all into your total points, is what it tells you anyway. See that right now, it's got 10,000 is my limit. And it doesn't matter how much level you get up into the game, it will never change. That is your limit. I'm not sure if you can increase that or not, but that's just the daily limit, which doesn't matter because, see, my total limit right now is far above what my daily is, which is handy. It would suck if it was if I had to wait till I got a level or something, but you know. So, okay, see my hero up there, see the icon up there? You're probably wondering, you might be thinking that that's me. No, that's my hero, Noctis. I don't know too much about him, apart from the game that he's in, and so other few titles. I've got like 17 skill points. Yeah, you want to go to a skill tree, as they call it. You want to put up his attack as much as you can. The one thing I would save up for is make sure that this up here gets to at least, and I mean at least, as far as you can get it, because it helps in the end, because it lowers the how long it takes on the construction, and I believe you can also get your research down too eventually, somewhere in here. I believe that's it right there where it says research. You can get that. Training, not so much worried about, because, you know, you only can have a maximum depending on how much you actually have, and what your limit is. Like, say right now, just right here is total based on how many I have of buildings built up of my dojos. Right now, you know, I can only have a certain amount, which I don't think it affects anything. I'm not sure yet because I haven't unlocked 2 yet for warrior or anything like that. But basically, yeah, you want to keep on going. Like this right here increases how many troops you can have and how many you can basically, you know, train, the maximum of, you know, how many buildings you have. It helps, and the hospital keeps you from having to worry about, you know, only so much in your hospital. That's why you built so many hospitals. You know, the more the merrier. Ow. Ow, why you gotta claw me? And obviously I cannot upgrade yet till I get my citadel done. So yeah. And this is not available till I believe it's 8 or 9, something like that. The important thing is, as well, is the trading post, and to help resource and to get send some troops to your colleagues, and mostly your main leader. That's what I've learned so far. Now, you don't have to do that by any means, any stretch of the word. And if you're going to do that, I wait till you're at least a high enough level in your base, enough to send strong enough, you know, troops, because, I mean, they don't really level up, I don't think. Now, let me look. I don't think they can level up, but you can increase their strength and power. See, like warrior level 1, warrior level 2, warrior level 3, which are different kind of types, I guess. Different swordsmen and mage warriors or whatever. And that'll be a while because I have to upgrade all my stuff to get to that point. So yeah, and including, like I said, this is important as well, as that you at least, if you can't upgrade it, wait and always make sure, damn sure, that you get this upgraded, because it's important to get the university upgraded for stuff like, so you can get stuff basically upgraded. Even though it's going to take resources, which, by the way, I know this is going to drag out. This is just a little bit more than I want to. But what you want to do is, that's a new bird. I can't do nothing about it. I mean, a new class. You want to focus on the lowest resource, which right now I'm not really too low on much of anything except maybe stone and maybe energy. I realize that my gil is a little low, but I can work on that back and forth. But it's not too terribly bad versus my energy. The most mainly thing that goes down more than anything when you're using stuff is not food. They all go down on their own, but the main thing you got to worry about is your stone and your iron, or whatever that is. I forget what it's called now. They don't have, yeah, that's it, metal. So yeah, that's what you got to focus on in this game, is doing that. And building is essential to this game. Game's critique, or way to play. And as far as this goes, yes, always go for the highest. I was going for the lowest, so I thought it'd be quicker that way. No, just go for the highest, because not only does it give you more resources, and even if you overlap time, it doesn't matter. Just, like, in other words, say if you don't come back till the next day, so what? I mean, there'll be more, and then they'll have even more timers and stuff. And especially if you see a 2-hour deal, don't worry about it. It might take some time, but play something else. I always recommend, like, if you have nothing else better to do, just, like, okay, what's this about? So, yeah, you want to send out your troops to certain locations. And, that's the way that goes. I definitely recommend them. You just basically click on it, or whatever you got to do with it, depending on the device you're on, whether you're on PC or mobile. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little intro.